Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
Welcome to our program today. You met Peter Gabel last Sunday, and I promised he was coming back because we had so much more that we wanted to talk about. Peter is an expert in the death industry. He's a licensed Texas funeral director. He's also been involved in pre-need counseling, counseling and insurance and all of the planning that goes with it if you do pre-planning. And he's also overseen a crematory, a cemetery, worked for corporations and private funeral homes. He's also managed one of the new trends, a casket store. So he's really done everything in the death industry. And he's also been on the cutting edge of all the new trends. And that's one of the things that we want to talk about in today's program. But I want us to welcome Peter back. And then I want you to start, Peter, by talking about when is the best time and how do we go about pre-planning?
Well, pre-planning and pre-paying, pre-need are two different things. And when people think about pre-planning, they tend to think, how much is that going to cost me? It doesn't have to cost you anything to plan. And in telling your family, telling your next of kin, whoever's going to be in charge of this, or
writing it down.
Writing it down. The book is a good way to tell you how to do things. And I've also got a CD here. And on the CD I have some forms. And the funeral planning guide is a digital version. You can fill it in the blank on your computer, update it very easily as you need to. It asks you all the questions you need to know about the vital statistics for the death certificate, what kind of arrangements you might want to have on funeral, obituary, who to contact, cemetery, and even financial information. Who's your next of kin? It might help with probate. You know, your family's going to need to know where you keep all these documents and what kind of property you own.
Who your lawyer is.
Exactly. It has all that on there. It's very simple to fill in, and you can email it to whoever you want and sections of it to whoever you want, so people know. That's the most important thing. Pre-paying is a little different.
And to do pre-planning, you have to think through these things, and that sometimes takes research, sometimes homework, and that's so advantageous because that's what keeps you from paying unnecessary cost down the road.
Johnny Lou, I've sat in arrangement conferences with families, and you have one kid that wants to do the best for mother because mother deserved it, and another one that said,
we can't afford it.
Mother would come out and get us if we spent that much money. So you have them at odds. What do? When mother makes the decisions,
you don't
and
have
it's
that.
down there that everybody says, you know, we're doing exactly what mom wanted us to do. And it just makes everything go so much easier. The decisions are made. People get tired of sitting in an arrangement conference to
when they're
go
so
through all
emotionally
this process, and because they can't make up their minds. The decisions take so long.
And so that's when you let somebody else make the decision. The funeral director or somebody else has to step in, or the
and they
clergy.
Advise, and they're probably not going to advise you, or they may not advise you how to do it less expensively. So and there's so many options and so many different ways to do things that just having a little knowledge and just starting a little, start with baby steps. I say, most people that make funeral arrangements are widows. So I say, don't wait for your husband, because men aren't going to die. We're invincible, and we're not going to plan for it. So,
and besides, my wife will do that.
So take the CD, fill everything out. If you want to go as far as to go check out some funeral homes, they'll give you a price list, and the book tells you how to read the price list, exactly how to read it, fill it out, and say, look, honey, look what I did. Now we're going to do one for you.
And you have all of those options that are from very expensive to very inexpensive, and so that helps you with your homework. But now let's talk about prepaying, because pre-planning should be done by everybody
Everybody.
immediately.
There's no excuse.
Immediately. And then, but prepayment, talk about how you can prepay. And there's different ways, different meanings. One locks
Right.
in a cost, and
Well, some of them lock in today's price, and you can pay for 5 years, and basically you're paying for the price of what you picked out. Now, when you come to use it 20 years later, it had locked in that price. Others are like you see on TV commercials for death insurance. From what I can see, that's life insurance, because it doesn't. You don't pick out any merchandise. You don't do anything. It doesn't lock in any prices. I think it's just life insurance. They're calling death insurance. When you pre-plan or prepay, you need to talk with the funeral home. I can't talk for all of them, and say, can I transfer this? If I decide I want to go to another
Is this a
funeral
mobile
home,
policy?
is it transferable?
Yeah.
Can we make it irrevocable if we need to go on Medicaid? If you're on Medicaid and you don't have a irrevocable policy, they're going to take your money. They're going to make you spend your money before Medicaid will pay any benefits. But if you get an irrevocable prepaid funeral, then you don't have to worry about it. That's taken care of. Some are done through trusts that the funeral homes more or less control. Others are done through insurance companies. There's been some bad news, bad apples, that have stolen money out of their trusts, and so when the person came to need the money, it's not there. So there's ways to get around that, where it's all regulated a lot better now as well. But you can get around that with prepaying different ways, and insurance is one of them, and trust is another.
So the bottom line is, this is a major, major decision, and it should not be done quickly or lightly.
Right.
You need to really study the options and study the different philosophies in your own mind. Just exactly, what do I want? What will Mom and Dad want? So many times now we're planning for people who have Alzheimer's, and we hadn't talked about that.
Right.
So we don't really know what they would have wanted. We're going to have to take a break right now, but when we come back, I want us to talk a little bit more about why people are afraid to talk about this, and why they and what we can do to get them talking about it. We'll see you in just a minute. Take a break.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.